listeners, welcome to another great podcast session. I'm Shivani Muthiala. The new tech trends, whether it be artificial intelligence or machine learning, or even for that matter, digital twins, are taking over the market rapidly. These technologies are widely being used for predictive analytics, especially when coming to the mobility sector. To elaborate more upon this front, we have Anup Patil, who is the CEO of Entangles. So, why late? Let's welcome our speaker for the day. Hi, Anup. How are you doing?
Hi, Shivani. I'm doing fine, and thanks for having us at Analytics Insight podcast. Great to be here.
We are glad that you are here today. So, first of all, could you tell our listeners like what Entangles is all about?
So, Entangles is a digital twin company where we have an end-to-end solution where the device sits onto the vehicle and collects data from the canvas of a vehicle at a much rapid pace. This data is sent onto cloud platform, which is where we analyze the performance of vehicles on a component level. So Entangles essentially looks at all the data that has been available in the public domain and brings an altogether a new perspective to the forefront, where we analyze performance of vehicles, operators, and bring to the forefront the inefficiencies that exist and how the owners of these assets can have maximum profitability from their existing assets that they are using.
Wonderful. And now that we are aware of what Entangles is all about, so could you tell us about what are its specializations and what are the services that the company is actually offering to its clients?
So Entangles operates primarily in the commercial vehicle domain, where it brings to the forefront all the operational related issues. So if you start putting all the operational issues in a certain fleet operation, then you are looking at vehicle as an individual entity. Then there are driver behavioral aspects of it. Then the most important element that exists in the current ecosystem is fuel, where we all know fuel prices are through the roof. So how do you efficiently manage the entire fuel? Then, as the regulations are changing quite rapidly, the entire emission controller monitoring. So these are the multiple aspects that Entangles provides as a service, and it also gives an analytics insight in terms of the various areas of improvement that fleet operator needs to work upon. So that's essentially what, on a very high level, are the services that are offered by Entangles.
Great, that sounded quite interesting. And since Entangles is a tech company, like how is it leveraging tech trends, whether it be artificial intelligence or machine learning or even the digital twin?
So AI and ML has been there for quite some time, but what Entangles does is it takes it to the next level. Where if you look at the multiple tenets of AI, so we are essentially leveraging the physics-based analytics of an internal and also using basic principles of thermodynamics and internal combustion engine, which is where we analyze the performance of each and every component in an asset, and then that data gets fed into our AI platform. This together essentially combined is called as generally hybrid analytics, and a more fancy term to that is digital twin. So that essentially is where Entangles is leveraging and bringing predictive analytics, where the fleet operator or the owner of multiple asset gets in early warning in terms of the failure of these components well in advance. So that is how Entangles is leveraging the AI piece. Now, beyond that, what is extremely important is that bringing insight in terms of the predictability of a component failure is important, but one of the most important aspect is that how do you simplify the insight for any normal operator to really understand what exactly is happening, and how critical the problem is, and what are the next steps that they should take upon, is also one of the important aspects that we focus upon. So while we have adopted the complex technologies of AI ML, the other element of it is also about how you simplify it for a fleet operator who will not be that tech savvy, and help him understand the exact issues that their assets are undergoing. So that is how we are bringing two different worlds together for in the commercial vehicle space.
Wonderful. Happy to know how the company is actually enhancing these new tech trends, which are booming in the market currently and are definitely, are here to stay. So, coming to predictive analytics, as you just mentioned about, it has been like gaining momentum for its capability to anticipate the unknown futuristic events, right? So, how is it aiding the mobility ecosystem, do you think?
See, if you look at the current trends in the mobility ecosystem beyond EV, which we'll talk later down the line, but the powertrains are becoming far more complex, and it becomes difficult for a normal service station or a roadside mechanic to just look at a certain failure and understand what exactly is happening. Just to give you a perspective, in terms of just the number of onboard sensors, which will give you a complexity of the problem. Prior to BS4 era, a normal a vehicle had roughly around not more than 6 to 8 onboard sensors. Those in a BS6 or a Euro 6 era, those number of sensors have gone north of 70 plus on a single vehicle. So we are talking about complexity going tenfold within such a short span of 3 to 4 years. With that kind of a complexity, we are talking about ensuring that that enough data is captured and the insight is brought in front of in front of the user. Essentially, as we see the trend in the mobility space, the powertrains are becoming extremely complex as we move from BS3 and BS4 to now in BS6 era of emission regulations. So a lot of onboard sensors exist on a certain vehicle. Now, with that level of complexity, one of the most important tech trend is going to be to understand the failure and the performance of these components on under normal circumstances. Now, there are two important aspects that we have to look at when we talk about predictive analytics. Is one, how these components are performing in everyday use. So the cars that you and I typically drive, everyone has a different conditions under which they drive, and it becomes difficult for any OEM to simulate all real world conditions. So having that insight under what stress and condition a certain component performs and fails is one of the most important trend that is going to become extremely important for OEMs, and having that level of insight. So that is one. The second one is when people who are driving these complex powertrains, they would also want to know if a certain failure has happened, how complex it is or how serious it is, and if they should drop everything and take the vehicle for repair, or they can continue with whatever they are doing, and then they can always come back to the problem that has been highlighted by the predictive analytics later down the line and take care of it. So that is how this modern mobility is going to see a significant shift towards predictive analytics. Now, that is one element of it. The second most important trend that is going to take over in the mobility space is that while emission regulations are going to become even more and more stringent, as we all are talking about now, COP26. So it becomes impractical for OEMs to keep adding more and more sensors to these vehicles, because then in that case the vehicles will become economically not viable for any OEM as well as the end customer, to own the vehicle. So with that kind of a trend we are talking about, a digital twin and AI and ML will come to the forefront, where instead of adding more and more sensors, a digital twin kind of a paradigm will help OEMs understand exactly how and what the components are performing, and what are the additional changes that they should bring about in overall performance of a vehicle.
Absolutely. And, indeed, predictive analytics is actually doing a great job, in this particular sense. And, could you just give us even more few use cases where predictive analytics have been utilized to a great extent and which are actually very close to your heart?
Oh, there are so we keep getting very interesting use cases on daily basis, but there are few which are quite interesting. So one of them was a brand new truck which was in a 25-ton segment. So it was barely 3 months old, and it was operating on a regular trip between point A to point B. And our analytic algorithm on engine temperature anomaly raised an alert stating that engine is showing an abnormal temperature behavior at low load conditions. Now, when the owner called the driver after seeing the alert, the driver said there is absolutely no issue in the vehicle, and the vehicle is all the instrument cluster and everything of the vehicle is showing the temperature behavior to be absolutely normal. But the owner had so much of faith in our system, he asked the driver to park the vehicle on the roadside and just do a routine check. The driver did that, and he found that the hose pipe to the water cooling system had ruptured and it has started leaking. Now, if that issue would have not been caught beforehand by our system, then the engine would have conked off, which essentially means that the owner would have got a hefty bill of roughly 3.5 to 4 lakh rupees. Now, there is obviously an argument that can come in way that the vehicle must have been in AMC, but under AMC also such kind of conditions are not approved. So that would have directly caused a huge dent in the owner's pocket. So that's how one of the issues has been there. There have been some other interesting incidents also, where we have been able to identify certain driver behavioral issues as well. One such incident that happened was the driver in a routine account management download to one of the fleet operator. We just told the fleet operator that some of their drivers are known to drive the vehicle down the hill in neutral when it is fully loaded, which is a dangerous driving practice, and they must stop doing that. The owner actually called the driver and told them that they and give them a strict instruction not to drive the vehicle in neutral. One of the driver didn't listen, and 1 week later he actually met with a serious accident going down the hill on a flyover, and ended up losing both his legs, as well as the entire truck also lost all the goods. Now, this essentially is what shows how predictive analytics can not only bring operational efficiencies, increase the life of the asset, but can also save lives. And that's one of the most important element, because that's where we would want to be, where we're able to predict such dangerous driving conditions and make everybody's life better.
Absolutely. Thanks, Anoop, for elaborating upon that. And in the same context, talking about the digital twin. So, how do you think it is actually helping predictive analytics to run smoothly?
See, if you look at it in the digital twin world, it's evolving science, and we give a very interesting analogy when it comes to digital twin. So every vehicle that is there on the road, we treat it like a human body, and like our body has a brain and multiple vital organs that are at any point of time communicating with the brain. Every vehicle has a brain called as ECU, and it has its own vital organs in the form of engine, alternator, batteries, air intake system, fuel intake system. So these are how even a vehicle is designed. So when you treat every vehicle like a human body, and every vital organ has a performance band. So if you are running, then the science says that your heart should perform in a certain way, and when you are sleeping it should perform in a certain way. Similarly, every component on a vehicle is also designed to perform under a certain stress. In the world of digital twin, what we do is we analyze these performances and understand the overall behavior of these components.
Amazing. And, Entangles is actually doing a great job here. And, mobility is a sector that has, become vital these days, right? So, what are the developments and challenges in this particular ecosystem, according to you?
Yeah. So if you look at, and the current issues that you will see in the mobility space is a significant shortage of chip, and the news is across. The disruption is across the globe, and that is what essentially is going to be one of the biggest challenge that mobility space is going to see. Other than that, as regulations are becoming more and more stringent in terms of emission norms, that is another area where OEMs will have to work overtime to meet these regulatory requirements. Of course, EV is the next level of segment that is coming up, but then it comes with its own set of challenges in terms of range anxiety, and how the common platform is adopted by all the OEMs in terms of standardization of the batteries, the battery chemistry. So there are so many issues that needs to be overcome in that space as well. So these are the different challenges that we are talking about in the mobility space that is going to be at the forefront in next 2 to 3 years, that OEMs will have to overcome to have a smooth ride and then scale up from there.
Very rightly pointed out, about the challenges, Anup. And, similarly, could you tell us about the outlook trends in the mobility ecosystem that are, expected likely to be on 2022?
Few of the things that, while like I said, chip shortage is going to be one of the issues that is going to cause some level of disruption. It is also going to bring a very interesting way in which OEMs will try to sort it out, which is consolidation of multiple functionalities of a chip into a single chip, thereby bringing down the consumption of number of chips that go in a single vehicle. So that is going to be one trend that is going to be at the forefront. The second one is development and making the infrastructure for the EV requirements, meeting with the regulatory requirements on the emission side. So these are all the aspects that is going to be taking the forefront in 2022.
Absolutely. And, where do you want to see the company maybe in the next 5 years?
See, for Entangles, having worked on digital twin technology, we have been scaling quite rapidly in the Indian ecosystem. But while COVID slowed us down to a certain level, that also gave us time to understand how the overall global landscape is in terms of adopting the predictive analytics as a technology, and how important it is going to be on everybody's to-do list. What we understood is that resources and disruptions are going to be there for quite some time for the way pandemic is evolving. So with that, lot of companies, whether we are talking about developed economies in North America and Europe to even developing countries, it is going to be one of the most important aspect where predictive analytics will be most widely sought after technology. Having said that, Entangles right now, with having created its name in the Indian ecosystem, we are right now working aggressively in scaling in North America. But beyond that, we also had established our presence prior to pandemic in 9 other countries: Southeast Asia, Middle East, and Europe, especially. And with some oil and gas companies, we are right now working on establishing our presence across 6 other countries. So by the end of next calendar year, Entangles will be present at least in 20 plus countries, with predictive analytics as a platform for different stakeholders to use that as a technology to bring efficiencies and increase the life of assets on for their assets.
Amazing. Really hoping to see Entangles achieve great heights. And lastly, what is your piece of advice to the emerging and budding leaders in this particular space?
See, on that front, I think I'll use our experience in Entangles itself, where one of the key things that we ensured when we are developing the entire tech stack was that your solution has to be tailor made for the problem that you're solving in a certain geography, which means that co-founders and the core team of or the early starters of any company must spend good amount of time on the field understanding how your product is being consumed and how an end user would want it to be developed so that you make their life absolutely easy. Having said that, one of the key recommendations that I have for a lot of startups who generally come to us for any kind of advice is that at the beginning of your development cycle, when you just start, you will have lots and lots of ideas. Pick the top 3 or 5 problems that you would want to solve, and if you have to fail fast, which is a cliche, but that is absolutely the must have if you are in such a fast paced startup ecosystem like India. And this is the best time to be in the Indian ecosystem to start a company and solve a genuine problem that is waiting to be solved. So that would be my piece of advice to anyone who is in the startup ecosystem at this point of time.
Very well said, Anup, and I'm pretty sure that these insights are surely going to help all our listeners to a great extent. Thank you so much for being here today. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks, Shivani, and it was a pleasure interacting with you as well.
Thank you so much. So, listeners, stay tuned for more such interesting podcasts. Thank you. See you all very soon.